Hello, Steve Mills here. Welcome back to the Results Podcast. It's great to have you here. And today I've got a bit of a controversial subject for you. The title of this is Why Exhibiting is a Total and Utter Waste of Money and time, for that matter. And for most of the people who go exhibiting, that's the truth. It is. It's a total waste of money. Not only is it a waste of money, but it's a waste of a lot of money. You know, even in one of these small little regional exhibitions, people go and spend a reasonable amount of time and a lot of money to be there. I think it's this Thursday in Portsmouth, where I'm based. There's the Portsmouth, I think it's called the Portsmouth Small Business Exhibition or something like that. And I'll almost guarantee you that a lot of the people there, and I'm talking about the exhibitors here, the people who've paid to be there, won't do very well there. And that's not the fault of the organisers. It's not the fault of exhibitions even. It's their fault. And why is it their fault? It's their fault because they don't do it very well. They spend a fortune on the stand, you know, they get the, glossy brochures, and they give away the sweets and the lollipops and, and brochures and leaflets and all that sort of stuff. They spend another fortune on the actual stand with the nice pictures and banners and pop-ups and all that sort of stuff. They then spend, a reasonable amount of money to the exhibitor, and that can vary from, in a little regional event like the Portsmouth Business event, that's just a few £100, up to, one of the big events in somewhere like Earl's Court. It could be £30,000-40,000 to be there for the day. And then what do? They put people on the stand who are not trained, and they're really, really bad at follow-up. And they don't win any or very much business as a result of doing that. And that's why exhibitions are a waste of time. They're not actually a waste of time, but they're a waste of time for most people and a waste of money because they don't do it properly. They don't do it well. They've not done any training in exhibiting. And I want to be clear about this. I'm not saying that because, come to Steve and I can do training in exhibiting. I don't do that. I do know a couple of people who do, but, that's not my bag. That's not why I'm here talking to you right now. I'm talking to you right now because I don't want you to waste money on exhibiting like most people do. So if that's the case, what's the secret? Well, I'd say one or two things. One is not to exhibit. If you looked at what, assuming you've done this before, i.e. exhibiting, and you've not won much money at it, or not done very well in terms of your return on investment, then, and by the way, let me just kill this one off, if I may. It's not about getting your name out there. Getting your name out there is the stuff that Coca-Cola does. As a small business owner, we want to be getting a return on our investment, an ROI, so that if we go exhibiting and it costs us, let's say, £1,000 a day, and it does, by the way, even if you're in a little exhibition like the Portsmouth one, that'd be maybe £300 for a stand, plus, plus all the time you've taken, plus the stand, plus the people you employ on it, and then plus the follow-up, if you do any of that. By the time you've got there and back, it's probably the best part of £1,000. And as I say, if you're on a 4-day conference or an exhibition up in London at Earl's Court, that could easily be £40,000. So what's the key? What's the missing ingredient? Well, for me, as I've already alluded to, it's about the training. It's about people. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. How often have you been onto an exhibition stand and there are people, people are supposed to be salespeople, and what are they doing? They're drinking coffee, they're eating their lunch, they're not really focused on what they should be doing. They're having long, in-depth conversations with people when they should be getting people onto their stand, giving them some information, getting their contact details, and then getting them off the stand so the next people can come on as quickly as possible. And that simply doesn't happen. But the big one, and I mean it is such a big one, is the total lack of follow-up. People don't follow up. It amazes me. I go to networking events even, and I've been to hundreds, if not thousands, of networking events. And let's say at each one of them I meet 10 to 20 people. Do you know how many of those people have ever followed me up? Well, I think I can count them on my fingers. I really do. In 27 years, I would estimate I've gone to an average of, I'm going to say 25 events per year on average. And I've probably spoken, let's say, to 10 people at each event. And I could count the number of people who followed up with me on my fingers. And that is just deplorable. I've been to loads of exhibitions. I turn up at exhibitions and, they always ask you for your business card, or perhaps they'll zap you with their little zapper thing, that gets to know who you are and gets all your contact details, and nothing happens. So if you're going to do this, get rid of all the blooming free sweets and the Kit Kats and the coffee and the this and that. Get them on there, get them off, get their details, and get them followed up. And remember one final thing, and that is speed stuns. If you call me 3 weeks after, I won't even remember speaking to you. If I've been to an exhibition and looked at, 350 stands, and you say, oh, you visited my stand, did I? I don't remember that. Excuse me, I had to cough there. Do apologise. Really try and make sure that if you're going to do this being exhibiting, or literally anything else in your marketing, that you do it as well as you can. It comes down to these three words that Tony Robbins says, and I totally and utterly endorse, and that is raise your game. You need to raise your game. You need to be better than everybody else in that room or that hall at exhibiting. And you need to be a lot better at following them up. Thanks ever so much for listening. I hope it was of value. If I can help you further, if you want a meeting, I'd love to talk to you. As I said, 27 years now, working with thousands of businesses in hundreds of industries, and helping them to make, let's just say, a significant growth in their business. Not all of them have made millions. Some of them have. Some of them have gone from startup to 100K in 6 months or less. If you want to, I know we're coming to tough times right now. So if you want to avoid struggling away or going bust, or you really want to seize this as an opportunity to leverage your business and grow, because for a fact that a lot of businesses are going to be cutting back, then, sign up to a no obligation meeting. Go to my website, click on one of the gold buttons, and get yourself booked into what I call a results awareness meeting. And it'll be no obligation, be great to talk to you, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Thanks very much for listening.